Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video. Today we're going to be doing another tap video. This is going to be another sort of top thingy that they should add, and this is going to be top 50 buildings they need to add to tap. So, a while ago, I think it might have been a year and a half ago actually, that I did my top 10 updated buildings that they should add, but 10 is boring now. I'm bored of 10. We're going to be doing 50. Now, with the characters, I did top 100 characters that they should add to the Simpsons tap, but I don't really want to go to that extent for buildings. I started it, and then honestly, the issue is I feel like there's tons of buildings I'm missing that I really badly want, but I'm just forgetting them. I also tried my best to have different buildings from my top 10 character building combos that they should add, because I kind of didn't want to have as many of those repeating on the list. Obviously, there's going to be a few repeating on the list. Unfortunately, it's just how it's going to have to go, because there are just some buildings that I don't want to miss out that were included in those combos, but we can get into it. It's not a big deal. It's just a few here and there, but I've missed out a few buildings. Trying to think of a good example of a building that I would really like that I've missed out. We'll get into it. Let's get into this video though. So number 50 is Springfield X. So this is a porn theatre in Springfield, and do you know what? It's been seen a few times. Why not have a porn theatre? We've got our strip clubs. We've got our bars. Let's have a porn theatre. No, I just think they could definitely do something cool. I like the cinemas in the game. A lot of them do look really nice. The Googleplex Theatre I think looks great. Aztec Theatre looks really nice. So I don't know. I think they could make this look pretty cool. Make it look really sleazy and grimy. But yeah, I think that's what our Springfields are missing, and that's a porn theatre. Moving on. Number 49 is Zertz. Despite this being like a building, I think there was like something in the files that hinted that this might be the building that Richard comes with. I think it's something Spring King brought up ages ago. I'm not sure. But this is the building I've always put with Richard, because I think it's a decent match. Richard's... we don't know tons about Richard anyway, so him coming with this building, it's a family restaurant, so it makes sense. A dessert restaurant, kids like desserts. There you go. Hey ho, it's a perfect match. So yeah, Zertz, I think it also just looks really nice. I think the building just looks really great. So I kind of wanted to include this on the list. Didn't want to put it too high, but I just really love the look of the building. Obviously, the building has two appearances. The one which is called Zertz and one that's called Zerz. I think the T's missing in the other one. So yeah, they'd have to choose, or they could add both. I probably would prefer they just stick with one, but I guess they could always add both. Number 48 is the Springfield Laundromat. Do you know what? It's nothing too fancy of a building. It'd be a very simple, kind of bland building to add to the town for sure. But it's just something I think we're missing. We've got we got like dentist. We got like our dentists. We've got our walk-in clinic. We got things like this. I think just having like a laundromat, these kind of everyday buildings are just nice to kind of flesh out the town a little bit more. I know laundromats are not like a big thing anymore, or at least I don't think there's very many. I can think of one where I live, which is like a few miles away, but like there isn't. They don't tend to be like things you see anymore. But because obviously this is from like a very old episode, well, an oldish episode, obviously. Seymour Skinner's Badass song, I think this one's from. But yeah, it's just something that I think could be cool to chuck into the town. Number 47 is the Veterans of Unpopular Wars Hall. There's a few of these, like Veterans of So Be It, whatever, War Hall. But this is the one that has appeared the most. And yeah, I like this one. I think they could definitely make it look pretty awesome. And it's a biggish building that hasn't been added yet, so it'd be nice to see it. 46 is Lackluster video. I just like these Blockbuster video parodies. I know we've got VHS Village, I think they added, right? But we haven't got like a Blockbuster parody, so I think this one could be pretty nice to have. I don't know. It's kind of almost like a blast from the past, like the laundromat. It's like something that you don't see anymore, buildings you don't see anymore, but it could be cool to get in the town. I don't know why I'm drawn to buildings like that. It's just, I don't know. I just like them. It's my preference. Number 45 is Barney's apartment. This is like a really tricky one, because this is like a building that's been seen so many times, but for the most part, apart from this appearance here, we always see the interior of the building and we never see the exterior of the building. So we don't know what it looks like. So this is the best shot we have of it. So we know that he lives in number 5 and we know it looks pretty crummy. And that's all we know, really. And there's like a little stairway. I think this is something that the Tapped Out creators could create, a Tapped Out exclusive, if you will. It's possible, or a semi-exclusive building. Now, the only downside would be if in the future they eventually showed the exterior of Barney's apartment and it looked entirely different, then that one might be a bit of a pain. But, I don't know, I think they can make it work, make it look cool, and they could chuck it in the game. Number 44 is 123 Fake Street. It's just one of those things that I remember, that joke where they say 123 Fake Street and then the police show up at what is 123 Fake Street. Now, I think what they could do for this one is just add Fake Street, and then obviously you would have 123 here, so like you'd be able to see the little sign on the side of it, and then just have it kind of be like a, you know, like a 6-in-1 or an 8-in-1 building, one of those buildings where you can kind of put the road in between them. So just call it Fake Street, and obviously 123 would just be right there. So yeah. Number 43 is the abandoned lighthouse. This is something that should have been added in the Christmas Whodunit because they added the Sideshow Bob costume. Obviously, this is where Sideshow Bob moves to after. It was also seen in another episode as well. I don't know. I like lighthouses. I don't think there's too many of them. We've got Earl. That one's pretty cool. Is there another lighthouse? I feel like that might be the only one. Or am I missing another one? I think there might be one more, but I can't remember what it's called. If there is one. Or if there. Who knows? But yeah, I would like the abandoned lighthouse. Why not? I wouldn't mind another lighthouse. You put one end of the thing. Oh, actually, to be fair, this one is on land, so you can just put this, you know, on the beach. That could be a cool feature as well. If you could place it on the sand, that could be nice. Number 42 is Bob's RV Roundup. Yeah, I really want Bob. I don't think I'm that keen on getting his Roundup. Obviously, if they're going to add Cowboy Bob, we need to get his RV Roundup. But I think, like, in terms, it's like almost like, yes, they need to add that with him. But at the moment, I don't think I want to put it any higher than 42. I did want to include it on the list because it definitely is something I do want to see in the game. I do want to see the whole Roundup thing. Another thing I forgot. So this is my problem. I said at the start of the video there's going to be things that I want that I'm going to forget. It's just kind of reminding me is Lorleen's Trailer Park. That could definitely be another one that I should have included on the list, which I haven't. But yeah. But I would like to see Bob's Harvey Roundup. I just wanted to say that as a tangent before I forgot. Number 41 is Springfield Costume Shop. This is another one that's kind of been seen a few times, and I think it's quite a universal building, so it's very weird to me that they haven't bothered adding it yet. Because you could kind of add this, you know, in a superhero update, you could add this in a Christmas update, you know, and say, oh, they're buying Santa costumes. You could add this in a Halloween update and say that they're buying Halloween costumes. So it's quite like a universal building, and they haven't added it yet. It's just a bit odd to me. And so for that, I do want to see it in the game, weirdly. For some weird reason, I want to see it quite badly. Number 40 is Moe's apartment. I know that we have Moe's house in the game, but we've seen his apartment quite a few times as well. Now, I think more lately that he's, you know, been seen to be living in his house, and so maybe the whole apartment idea has been scrapped, but I like it. I think it's a nice looking little block of flats. Obviously, it's a bit run down in parts, but I think it could be cool to see in the game, so yeah, I'd like them to add that. Numbers 39, we're kind of doing a theme here, which is like crappy places, is Skid Row. So Skid Row was seen in the Bart vs. Thanksgiving episode. It's also been seen in like loads of episodes. Obviously, it's had multiple different appearances, so what kind of buildings they decide to add is up to them. I mean, to be fair, the whole Skid Row thing could honestly be like an all-encompassing, because even here you can see that you've got, what's this say, So Blifflands? I can't tell what it says. Blifflands. There's a pawn shop here. You have like a liquor shop and then a massage parlor. So if they wanted to, they could add like multiple buildings, or they could just do, you know, a kind of 6-in-1 building with like a street running through the middle, like they could do with this one here. I mean, I'm cool with either thing really. So yeah, I'd like to see Skid Row in the game. Number 38 is the Repo Depot. It's another weird one that they haven't added yet. I just think it could be awesome because it's not just like this little block building they could add. They could kind of add like the whole fence and, you know, all the different repoed cars. Or they could even do like add the Repo Depot, and then as a decoration add like the repo lot, and there could be like some cool things in there. Like there's like a little shed here. Maybe there could be some cars, some boxes, maybe like a box of TVs or something. You know, they could really build this out. It's another one of those things where it's like, we've got all these different types, you know, we've got the police, we've got all this, but we haven't got the Repo Depot, and so, I don't know, I just think it could be cool to get it in the game. 37 is Bart's Factory, just a very memorable kind of B-plot that was in that one episode, and it's a memorable B-plot where Bart obviously buys this factory, and so I would like to see it in the game, just because it's, something that Bart owned for a time, weirdly, so it could be cool to get it. Number 36 is Offshore Gambling. So this is part of the Ultranet, but obviously this is more of like a necessity because it's like we've got YouTube, we've got the Ultranet. I would just like to see the Offshore Gambling just to kind of complete that collection of things. I know that they show Google as well, but obviously they're not going to be able to add that to the game, but they can add the Offshore Gambling thing. So yeah, I think they're definitely pretty cool. Could be like a really, really cool building, or it just looks like a big slot machine almost, and I think it could fit in really nice with the Ultranet and the YouTube. 35 is the alternative Knifestyles. I know there's also the Fab Abs as well, which is another one of these stores in the gay neighborhood. But we've obviously got the moped store, and we've got the Stonewall Bakery. We've got that as well. So I would just like to see alternative Knifestyles as well, you know, just to kind of complete that little gay neighborhood that we saw in a few episodes. So yeah, and also it's a really nice looking building. 34 is Springfield Naval Reserve Base. I don't know, we've got, it's part of kind of, I really do want them to add Fort Springfield as well, but I think the naval base would be pretty cool to see too, and I think this one could be like really unique, because similar to the Little Lisa's recycling plant, I think this one should be one of those buildings that attaches to the water, so you have to add it like on the beach and add it to the water, because if you can see at the end here, there's like a little dock, and I think that could be like really, really awesome. What could be really, really awesome is if there's like an actual little dock that is part of the building that's kind of goes into the water, just to kind of make it fit, you know, it's both a land and a sea kind of thing. I think that could be like really, really awesome. 33 is the birthplace of Jebediah Springfield. It's just one of those town buildings that I feel like they can add. The building itself isn't anything too unique, you know, it's a simple cabin. It looks rather similar to Lincoln's cabin, to be honest, but it's like a town building that I just want to see. You know, it's a historical building. It's been seen a few times. Yeah, I'd like to see it in the game for sure. Plus, also, Jebediah Springfield's been added, yet his birthplace has not been added. Number 32 is Springfield Municipal Building. Again, another kind of big town building. It's been seen a few times, but it hasn't been added yet. I do think the Quimby's bodyguards would be a great fit for this building, but yeah, it's just another kind of town building that I'd like to see in the game. No, and also, it looks alright. It looks pretty nice. D'Erico's Market. This is like one that's seen at the town square quite a few times throughout the show. And, you know, we've got like Zesties, we've got Luigi's, we've got the town hall. You know, we've got all these common sort of buildings that are seen quite frequently throughout the town hall, but we've never got this one. So the D'Erico's Market. Yeah, I'd just like to see it. I think it's a building that's been seen quite a few times. It's part of the whole town square. So I don't see why they shouldn't add it. I think it should really have been like a level building, to be honest. 30 is Heinrich's Monocle Shop. This is similar to the D'Erico's Market. Heinrich's Monocle Shop is obviously just a building we've seen so many times throughout the show in the background, you know, appearing up here and there. Obviously, there's never been a moment where someone's gone into it, but it's just one of those buildings that's shown up a lot, so I definitely would love to see it. 29 is Suicide Notes. Honestly, I want to see Suicide... I spelled Suicide wrong at the title, but I want to see Suicide Notes because it should have been added during the Homopalooza event, but it wasn't for some weird reason. I really hope it's not because of the name. Maybe it's too edgy, like Suicide Note, I don't know. Who knows? It could have been. But, yeah, it's a really, really nice looking building, and it really should have been added during Homopalooza, so I definitely want to see that in the game. 28 is Call Me Delish-Mael, the taffy shop. This should have been added during the Squidport expansion update, and obviously, so you can put it on the Squidport. Still is yet to be added. It's just a taffy shop that's kind of, you know, a boat that's been converted to like a taffy shop. Looks really, really cool. Definitely want to see it in the game, so yeah, they're better at it. Number 27 is the first AME Church of Springfield. Really nice looking church. I tend to like the churches and chapels and things and religious buildings in general when they're added. Like the glass cathedral is really beautiful. The building that comes with the mega church that comes with the patriarch. I really like that building. So I just love kind of the churches and chapels and cathedrals. Things I really like those buildings, and so I would really love to see this one as well. I think this one pops. It's really bright. It looks really cool. So yeah, could be awesome to get. And kind of, you know, this is Dr. Hibbert's church. So coming off that, 26 is the Hibbert's house. Really, really cool house. We've obviously got Dr. Hibbert, Bernice, and Chester and Hibbert's father in the game. You know, we've got a lot of the Hibbert family in the game. Yet we are still to get their house. So I think it could be really awesome to see their house in the game. This is what it looks like. It looks really nice. And it could fit really nice into neighborhoods. Getting houses is always cool, so definitely would love to see it. 25 is the Springfield Stamp Museum. I really love the look of this. Yes, we have a lot of museums in the game, so I didn't want to add too many because I do think there is a bit of an oversaturation with museums and historical buildings and all that. I know I also had the birthplace of Jebediah Springfield, but I think that one's a bit different. And I do find them a little tedious when they're added, but this one I think does look really nice. If they were to include the sign and the little walkway that you can see here with the big stamp displays, and actually have this building how it is here, I think this is definitely one that could stand out. It'd look unique, and I think it'd be well appreciated. Number 24 is Grandma Van Houten's apartments, aka 257th Street. This is one that I was honestly very triggered that they didn't add during the Van Houten update, just because it's a perfect combo item to come with Grandma Van Houten. But they put Grandma Van Houten in the prize track, but they had tokens in the prize track, and they had a lack of buildings in that update as well, and it just annoyed me because here was a perfect building to throw into the prize track to fit in with Grandma Van Houten, you know, the perfect building to kind of go with her, and they didn't do it. And so I was rather disappointed that they decided not to add this building, and so I definitely do want to see it at some point in the game. It's weird, I don't know where they would add it or who they'd add it with, but I would love to see it, so yeah. 23 is King David's Wild Ride. Now, this is actually a part of Praiseland, but when they gave us the Praiseland bundle all those years ago, we only got like a select few things from Praiseland, and there's a lot of things that they didn't include. One of those is King David's Wild Ride. Obviously, we don't have like a great kind of view of it. We see the parts of it, but we see enough of it for them to actually make it up and add it to the game for sure. And yeah, it's just weird that they never bothered to add it. It's a part of Praiseland, and it's kind of like arguably like the big ride of Praiseland, so I would love to see that added. Number 22 is Mount Swartzwelder's historic cider mill. Looks really, really cool. If they can add this like with the river on the side, and then you can actually connect the river to this building, I think that could be awesome. Lovely little log building with the water wheel. I think it just looks really nice. I think, yes, it's a kind of an older building of an older appearance, but they can modernize the look of this building and actually add it with the little the little river on the right hand side of it, and add it so you can connect the river. I think this one could look awesome. So yeah. 21 is Builder's Barn. Just a big superstore, and I just love big superstores. I think add this to the game, make it quite big. You know, like look how big this is compared to the cars. This is like huge. So I think they should add this, add it to size, make sure it's, you know, it's grandiose, it's big, and I think this one could definitely be another really, really cool kind of superstore to have in the game. Number 20 is the Springfield Bus Station. I just couldn't not add the bus station. I just think it looks really cool, and I definitely think they could do something really awesome with it. Yeah, just looks really nice, and again, it's another one of those big essential buildings. We've yet to get the bus station. Now, granted, it would be awesome on top of that if they could have some special feature with the actual buses going around the town. I don't think they would actually go to that extent, but as long as they had a few buses kind of parked outside, like if they were to add this exact screenshot here and kind of replicate that in the game, I'd be happy with the little buses outside and stuff. I'd be happy enough with that, so yeah, pretty cool. Number 19 is Hailstones. Now, this is the building that is next to the Springfield Mall. Now, Hailstones was meant to be added many years back. There was a game sound, like a file sound for the building that was in the game files. But yeah, Obviously, it was never added. Yeah, it goes next to the Springfield Mall. It's always seen next to the Springfield Mall. I just think it's like one of those buildings that we've seen so many times, and I would like to see it added to the game so you can kind of complete that Springfield Mall design. Plus, I think it looks really cool, so why not? Number 18 is the Buzz Cola Dome. Very, very nice looking dome. Now, I've put this lower. This used to be at number 7 on my list, but I think I've grown a little tired of seeing stadiums and things like that, so I knocked it down a few pegs. I still definitely would love to see it. 2 reasons. A, I think it looks cool, and I think it could stand on its own in terms of, stand on its own compared to like other sports buildings and stuff we got before. And B, it's kind of one of those buildings that's been seen so many times. I think it's kind of essential to add it to the game at this point. It's kind of like the mainstay dome that they use now, or stadium they use now. 17 is the City Morgue. This is a surprising one, but it's kind of one of those quirky, weird buildings that I'm like, yeah, why don't we have a morgue? We have a cemetery, so we should have a morgue, or a crematorium or something like that. I think the morgue, yeah, I like the building. I think it looks nice. It's simple, it's easy, but, with the pipes and stuff, I don't know. Something about it drew me in, and I really want to see it in the game. Don't ask me why. Number 16 is the Chunky Soup Maximum Security Prison. Part of me wanted to put this lower because we do have the Ronald Reagan Re-Education Center, and so I'm like, maybe that kind of counts, but I kind of want like an Alcatraz-y building in the game, like a prison on an island. I think that could be really, really cool. And we do kind of have it with the Re-Education Center, but I want it to look more like a prison, and I think this one could be awesome. I kind of want them to make this bigger as well, like make it really large, make it like as big as the Springfield Penitentiary, and with like a big rock, on a big rock. And then obviously this would go in the water. I do think though they would need to give us another strip of water for this building to work, just because otherwise I think it would be bunched up too close to land. I want this out a little bit. Like look at the distance here compared to Springfield. I kind of want it. I want another strip of land so you can place it further out in the ocean. Number 15 is Left Mart, another kind of superstore. I just think it's kind of like a funny little parody, and yeah, they could definitely use it for like a Ned update or something. So, just looks really nice. I love the look of it, so why not add it to the game? Left Mart. 14 is 1 Ocean View Drive. This is obviously Judge Harm's house. Again, another thing that they really should have added when they added Judge Harm, but yeah, I think it looks nice. The pink boat looks really cool. And also, I just think it'd be nice to get more houseboats in the game, because we've obviously got the Sea Captain Swan. Let's get a few more because and build them out, because I think they're pretty nice looking stuff. Number 13 is Marvin Monroe's Memorial Gymnasium. Obviously, this is the gymnasium for the school. Now, obviously, sometimes it's seen as like an extra, like another separate building, and sometimes it's just seen as part of the school. But I figure why not add it as a separate building. Could be really cool to get. Looks really nice, obviously in part of the school, so yeah, well, let's see it. Khlav Kalasah, gotta have Khlav Kalasah. Big, grandiose building, looks really cool. I love this building so much. I want to see it in the game, and obviously you gotta add it with the Khlav Kalasah man. Not really much more to say. 11 is the Tea Factory. Okay, this building, I gotta see this building in the game. It looks so cool. The big teacup on top, the factory. I love it. I love this building. It's such a quirky, stupid, dumbass building, and I just love it. I want to see it in the game. Number 10 is the Nuclear Power Plant Executives Building. Really, really big, cool building. Obviously, a big part of the Springfield nuclear power plant, because obviously this is where all the executives hang out. So yeah, definitely would love to see it. Looks really cool. Let's get it in the game. Number 9 is Storytime Village. Love the look of this one. Obviously this is Praiseland. I think this is Praiseland before Praiseland. Or is this? Yeah, I think this is Praiseland before Praiseland. Yeah, just looks really nice. I definitely want to see it though. Add it in the game. Number 8 is Kentucky Fried Panda. Just a funny kind of jokey building, but it also looks really pops. I love the red and the yellow. It pops out, so I definitely want to see that building. Ken Brogdon's mansion. We've got to have Ken's house in the game. We've got his whole family now, so where the hell's his house? Let's add his big ass mansion, his big gold stupid looking mansion. Looks really nice. Let's see it in the game. The White House. Obviously we've got, it's weird because we've got buildings like the actually, what do we have? We have the Capitol. We have the Memorial State statue. We gotta have the White House in the game, and I think partly because they stopped 4th of July updates is the reason as to why we've not seen the White House in the game yet. But I definitely want to see the White House. Now, I think maybe part of the issue actually could be because obviously they have like file names for everything. We've actually already got the White House in the game in the forms of that little house that you can buy in the levels, the White House. So they might have to call it like the President's House or something. I'm not sure if they would have issues with like two buildings having the same name. I've always thought about that, like because you like notice how like they called Joe the G.I. Joe character, they just called him Joe. Like I always wonder like if there's like another character who's called Joe, like Joe as in the Shelbyville version of Mo, like would they have to call him something different, or would it not matter? Yeah. So the White House. Maybe they'd have to call it the President's House. I don't know. Then we've got the Prince House. Looks really cool. Obviously, we've got Martin and we've got his mum in the game. Definitely want to see his house added sometime soon. It's kind of like another one of those big houses that we've seen. Not even like like with the Hibbert's house, it's only been seen like once or twice. Prince's house has been seen so many times in the show. Normally, we only see the back garden of it, but obviously there is views of it in the front. I think recently they've shown Martin's house and it looks completely different. Honestly, I want them to add the classic Prince house. Don't add the modern one. Add the classic one, please. 4 is the Springfield Speedway. It's just a big building that really should have been added. Either with like Lance Murdoch could have been a good thing for it to go with. They could have added it. They could add it with like Mod Flanders. I actually think Mod Flanders and the Speedway would actually be a pretty good combo, just because it's the building where she died. But it just looks really cool. I love the look of the Speedway. I think they would definitely have to make it big and really make this a kind of grand big building. So could be cool to get. 3 is Fort Springfield. I mentioned it before, but obviously Springfield's military base. We got to see it in the game. Obviously Skinner is from here. It's been seen so many times. Why is this not in the game yet? Get it added. 2 is a new addition to the list, but honestly I don't know why I haven't had it on before. The world's largest toilet. This was in the files years ago, if you don't know, and they still have yet to add it, and I definitely think it's a necessity that they need to add this to the game. It's crazy to me that this still hasn't been added. Why hasn't it been added? It's been almost 10 years since I think this was discovered. I think it has been 10 years since this was discovered in the files, or near enough, close to it. We need to see this in the game for sure. And then, drum roll please for number 1. Leftorium. Obviously the Leftorium. The fact we haven't got the Leftorium in the game is a travesty. Now this, I know Ned doesn't work at it anymore in the modern Simpsons, but regardless, and I know it's a Springfield Mall building, but that's never stopped them adding Springfield Mall buildings before. Why have we not got the Leftorium? It's a travesty. This is an essential building, such a big building to Ned, such an important location for both Ned and Homer and so many characters. Absolute travesty we haven't got it in the game yet. Needs to be added ASAP. Get it in the game, and a perfect character to come with it is just Stamp the Ticket Man. That's right. I think Mod Flanders should come with the Speedway, and I think Just Stamp the Ticket Man should come with this building. Just because, that's where Just Stamp the Ticket Man debuted. That's my number 1 building. It has been for a while, and it probably will stay that for a while until they add it to the game. So, I will update this list in a year's time. Or actually, if they have not added at least 12 of these buildings by this time next year, I will do a top 100 buildings that they should add to the Simpsons Tapped Out. We'll up it to 100 if they haven't added at least 12. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Good. Oh, and tell me any buildings that I missed that you would like to see in the game, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.